It is a Wednesday evening. You just got home. You are tired in that specific way that is not just physical. It is the kind of tired that comes from giving your whole day to something and walking away not entirely sure what you got back for it. You drop your bag by the door. Maybe you kick off your shoes. You go to the kitchen, not because you are hungry exactly, but because the kitchen is the first room that feels like yours after a long day. And at some point, before the food is ready, before you have changed out of your work clothes, sometimes before you have even sat down, you check your bank account. You always check your bank account when you get home, not because you are expecting anything good, but because you always need to know the number. The number looks the same as it did last week, maybe slightly different, not different enough to feel like anything. And somewhere in the back of your mind, behind the tiredness and the hunger and the 15 things still waiting on your mental to-do list, one quiet question surfaces. Am I getting anywhere? I want to answer that question for you tonight. Not with theory, not with a plan you need to start tomorrow, with something better. Evidence. Evidence that you may already be building something right now without knowing it. 9 signs, already present in your life, that most people walk right past every single day without ever knowing what they are looking at. This video is going to show you exactly what to look for. I want to tell you about someone who knows that Wednesday evening better than almost anyone. Someone who has had it more times than she can count. Her name is Amara. And the reason I want you to know her story is because what is happening in her financial life right now is almost certainly happening in yours too. Amara is 31 years old. She works as a logistics coordinator in Charlotte, North Carolina. She earns $43,500 a year. She is not a financial success story. Not yet. She has no dramatic arc, no catastrophic debt she overcame, no windfall that changed everything. She wakes up, she goes to work, she pays her bills, she tries to save when she can. Some months she manages it, some months she does not. She has $1,800 in a savings account built slowly over 2 years. She has a 401k she enrolled in during her first week at work because the HR person told her to. She contributes 4%. She does not feel like she is building anything, but she is. And the 9 signs are already sitting quietly in her life. Every single one of them. Sign 1. You feel something when you spend on things that do not matter to you. You are at a work lunch. Everyone is ordering freely. Appetizers, drinks, expensive entrees. The bill comes. Your share is $54. You pay it without saying anything, but you feel something, not regret, not guilt, something more specific. A quiet friction, an awareness that $54 just left your account for a meal you would not have chosen to spend $54 on if you had been alone. You do not say this out loud. You finish the lunch, you go back to work, but the feeling stays with you for the rest of the afternoon. Most people feel nothing when they spend money. The transaction is frictionless, invisible, digital, gone before the brain has registered it as a real event. The fact that you feel something, even a small something, means your brain has already started connecting spending to consequence. Nobody taught you to do this. You developed it organically through some combination of experience and observation. This is not guilt. It is not anxiety. It is financial awareness. And financial awareness, even underdeveloped, even inconsistent, is the first and most essential precursor to wealth building. People who feel nothing when they spend will always spend more than people who feel something. That friction, however small, is where everything begins. Sign 2. You have at least one automatic financial habit, even if you think it is too small to matter. It is payday. You check your account. The number is slightly lower than your full take-home because 4% went to your 401k before you ever saw it. You barely think about it. You enrolled in the first week because the HR person sat you down during onboarding and walked you through the paperwork, and you signed where they pointed. You have never changed the contribution. You do not fully understand what is in it, but it runs. every month, automatically, without a decision. That contribution, $145 per month at Amara's income level, at an 8% average return over 34 years until she is 65, is approximately $283,000. She does not know this. If you told her, she would not believe it. But here is the thing about automatic financial habits. You do not have to understand compound interest for compound interest to work for you. You just have to have started. Amara has started. She just does not know what she has started. Sign 3. You have built something, however small, that was not there before. You open your savings account, $1,800. You look at it and feel slightly embarrassed. You think about what you should have at 31. You have seen the articles, the recommended savings by age charts. You feel behind. You almost close the app. But before you do, I want you to look at something different. Not the number, the direction. 12 months ago, you had less. 24 months ago, you had less than that. The direction has been correct for 2 years even when the pace felt slow. Wealth is built in direction before it is built in amount. And the person with $1,800 moving in the right direction is in a fundamentally different financial position from the person with zero who has stopped moving. Not because of the $1,800, because of the direction. The comparison to what you should have is the wrong frame. The right frame is what you had versus what you have. And by that frame, you are winning. Sign 4. You have survived a financial setback and come back from it. 8 months ago, your car needed $900 in repairs. It arrived without warning on a Tuesday afternoon when you were already stretched thin. You paid it. It wiped out almost everything you had saved at the time. You were devastated in the specific way that only a financial setback can devastate. Not just the money, but the feeling that everything you had been quietly building had been erased in one afternoon. And then, slowly, without drama, without a new financial strategy or a radical budget overhaul, you started again. You are now back to $1,800, the same amount you had before the car repair. But this time, you got there faster because the saving habit was already in place. Most people experience a financial shock and never fully restart their saving habit. The restart rate after a setback is one of the most reliable predictors of long-term financial health that behavioral economists have ever identified. You restarted. Not perfectly, not immediately, but you restarted. That is a wealth sign. Sign 5. You are uncomfortable with your current financial position, but not paralyzed by it. You think about your finances more than you let on to anyone around you. There is a pull. Not toward a specific plan, not toward a dramatic overhaul, but toward something better. It sits in the background of your Wednesday evenings. Present, but not overwhelming. Uncomfortable, but not consuming. There are 3 financial emotional states that most people live in. The first is comfortable. People who have accepted their financial position and stopped feeling any pull toward change. The discomfort is gone. And unfortunately so is the movement. The second is paralyzed. People whose financial anxiety is so overwhelming, it has become an obstacle to action. They feel too much, and the feeling stops them from doing anything about it. The third is productively uncomfortable. People who feel the gap between where they are and where they want to be, without being consumed by it. People who carry the awareness without letting it become despair. You are in the third category. That productive discomfort, that specific emotional state, is the engine that eventually converts financial awareness into financial action. It is not a problem to be solved. It is a sign to be recognized. Sign 6. Your financial environment is quietly shifting. You are on your commute home, the same commute you have done 200 times, the same route, the same journey. And instead of putting on music the way you usually do, you put on something different. A finance podcast someone mentioned in passing at work 3 weeks ago. You half expect to turn it off after 5 minutes. You do not turn it off. That was 6 months ago. You listen 2 or 3 times a week now, not as a strategy, not as a financial education program you signed up for, just because you found you did not hate it. You have had 2 conversations about money in the last month that you would not have had 6 months ago. One with a colleague who turned out to be listening to similar content. One with your cousin who asked what you were doing with your 401k. Your financial environment is shifting, quietly, without you orchestrating it. The research on this is unambiguous. The financial behavior of the 5 people you spend the most time with is the single strongest predictor of your own financial behavior over a 5-year period. When that environment begins shifting toward financial awareness, even slightly, even accidentally, the trajectory changes with it. Yours is already shifting. Sign 7. You have started asking a different question about money. You are standing in a shop. Something catches your eye. You pick it up, and the question that arrives in your mind is the same question it has always been. Can I afford this? But lately, not always, not consistently, but sometimes, another question appears just after it. Is this worth it? You might put the thing down. You might still buy it. But the second question appeared. And it is the second question that matters. Can I afford this? Is a question about present liquidity. Do I have enough money right now to complete this transaction? It has no relationship with value or long-term impact or what else that money could do. Is this worth it? Is a question about consequence. It requires, even briefly, connecting the present spending decision to something beyond the transaction itself. The shift from affordability thinking to value thinking is one of the most significant cognitive transitions in personal finance. It is the difference between reactive financial behavior and intentional financial behavior. You are in the early stages of that transition. The question has appeared, and a question that has appeared once will always appear again. Sign 8. You have protected your most important financial habit during a hard month. 3 months ago, you had one of those months. Not a crisis, just a hard month. The kind where everything costs slightly more than expected, where your energy is low, where the mental load of just getting through the week feels heavier than usual. You thought about pausing your 401k contribution. You opened the HR portal with the vague intention of reducing it temporarily. You found the form. You saw there was a phone call required to process the change. You closed the portal, not because you made a disciplined financial decision, because the phone call felt like one more thing you did not have the energy for. The contribution went through that month, and the month after, and the month after that. Here's what almost nobody talks about when they discuss financial discipline. The reason automatic financial habits survive hard months is not usually willpower. It is friction. Stopping requires action. Continuing requires nothing. And in the months when everything feels heavy, the habits that require effort to stop are the ones that survive. You accidentally built financial resilience on the friction of stopping, rather than the discipline of continuing. The compound interest does not know the difference. The habit survived. That is what matters. Sign 9. You believe, somewhere underneath everything, that this is not permanent. This is the most important sign on the list. And it is the one most likely to be overlooked because it does not look like a financial behavior at all. On the hard Wednesday evenings, the ones where the number in your account looks the same as last week and the question, am I getting anywhere, feels heavier than usual, you still do not believe this is forever. You cannot fully explain why. You do not have a plan that justifies the belief. Sometimes the belief is barely a flicker. But you do not believe this is the final version of your financial life. That belief, fragile, unspecific, sometimes drowned out completely by a hard month, is the foundation beneath every other sign on this list. Without it, the automatic habit gets canceled. Without it, the productive discomfort tips into paralysis. Without it, the new question stops appearing because the answers feel irrelevant. With it, even imperfectly held, all 9 signs survive. And the wealth they are quietly building continues to grow, whether you can see it or not. Go back to that Wednesday evening. You dropped your bag by the door, you kicked off your shoes, you went to the kitchen, you checked your account. The number looked the same, but here is what the number was not showing you. Behind that number, running quietly, invisibly, without needing your awareness to function, were 9 signs. A friction when you spend on things that do not matter to you. An automatic habit you barely think about. A savings balance moving in the right direction even when the pace feels slow. A rebuilt habit after a setback. A productive discomfort that has not become paralysis. An environment shifting quietly toward financial awareness. A new question appearing at the back of your mind. A habit that survived a hard month because stopping required more effort than continuing. And a belief, quiet, unshakable beneath the surface, that this is not permanent. 9 signs, already present, already building something. Before I show you what those 9 signs are quietly building, I want to be honest with you, because these are not inspirational numbers. These are Amara's actual numbers, on her actual salary, with her actual habits, unchanged. Her 401k at $145 per month at 8% for 34 years, approximately $283,000. Her savings growing at $75 per month at 8% for 34 years, approximately $146,000. Total, without a single change in behavior, approximately $429,000. On $43,500 a year. Without a financial plan, without an advisor, without knowing any of this was happening. Just from 9 signs already present in an ordinary life. Now imagine what happens when she finds out. When someone who has been building something without knowing it discovers what they have been building. Almost every time, they accelerate. Not because they discovered a secret, but because they found out the thing they thought was not enough was actually the beginning of something real. The 9 signs are not a checklist of things you need to achieve. They are a description of things you may already have. Most people who eventually build real wealth do not point to a moment of dramatic change. They point to an ordinary Wednesday evening when someone showed them what they had already been doing. And they started doing it on purpose. You may be having that Wednesday evening right now,